What's up, Internet? My name is Jared Light, and today we're going to continue talking about the 4 basic stroke types. Now, last week we talked about the full stroke, which is the beginner stroke of the 4 basic stroke types. Now, the other 3 stroke types are the upstroke, the downstroke, and the tapstroke. And if you practiced your full strokes last week at all the heights that we discussed, 1, 3, 6, 9, and 12, you've already learned how to do tap strokes. So tap strokes are basically just full strokes at the lower heights, so 1 and 3, but I also like to practice them at 6 because it gives you more control. Okay, now let's talk about the downstroke. So the downstroke is the hardest of the 4 basic stroke types to get down, and that's because it's the most involved. So, start by looking at your right hand. Look at this fleshy back part of your palm. You need to think of this as your shock absorber. So when you go to play the downstroke, the back 3 fingers push the stick into your shock absorber. Now you shouldn't squeeze, you should just push. It should feel basically the same as if you played on a pillow. Now in your left hand, if you're using traditional grip, to achieve the same effect, you need to pinch the stick in between your middle finger and your ring finger. Now I'm going to show you a clip of my right hand and my left hand from the side. Then we'll play through 2 exercises that I use to work on downstrokes. One is just 4 downstrokes on each hand. You shouldn't do this with a metronome. You should take your time in between each downstroke to make adjustments and pay attention to what your fingers are doing and how your hands feel. The next exercise is 4 down taps. And again, you shouldn't do this with your metronome. You should take as much time as you need between each down tap. And don't go on into the next hand until you are comfortable with the downstroke in each hand. Lastly, we need to talk about upstrokes. So upstrokes are basically the same as prep strokes, meaning when you pick up the stick to play a note, that's a prep stroke. So all you're going to do is play a tap or a soft note and immediately bring the stick up to a higher height, and that's an upstroke. So an exercise I use for this, I like to call all strokes. You should practice this one with a metronome. It's 4 notes and 2 rests. So down, tap, rest, up, full, rest, down, tap, rest, up, full, rest. And you should practice this one hand at a time and not move to the next hand until you're sure that all 4 stroke types are working. From there, once you've learned all of the little exercises that we've talked about in this video, you can go to an accent tap exercise, which we'll play after the all strokes exercise. Now, accent taps exercises are the quintessential drumline exercise that we use to work on all stroke types, and this is a pretty standard one. It'll take you through a bunch of combinations of the different stroke types. Alright, so that's the video. I hope you've enjoyed working on the 4 basic stroke types with me. As always, thanks to my sponsor, Salyers Percussion. The sheets for the accent tap exercise will be in the description below. One more quick tip about working on downstrokes. If you notice that the bead jiggles after you've executed the downstroke, that usually means that you're correct. If you notice that your arm jiggles after you've executed the downstroke, that usually means that you're squeezing the stick too hard. Alright, I've enjoyed hanging out with you guys, and I'll see you next week.